Kyle Shanahan's offense. Kyle Shanahan, the genius. Kyle Shanahan, who can't score any points in the second half. What the hell was his offensive game plan this week? He coached like a guy who never expected to run the ball effectively. There was no variety in the run game. It used to be in 2019 when they went to the Super Bowl, they would hit you with like 10 or 11 different run concepts. I mean, all kind of different blocking schemes from different formations with different, and there would be motions, jet sweeps, and all kind of million different things going, and it felt like every single run was different. And now in this game, there's like the toss counter and the toss sweep, and then the handoff, but the stretch to the outside and the inside. There are like 4 concepts in their run game. What the hell happened to their run game? It used to be so voluminous and creative. This was not creative. It was just, hey, Jeff, run into this brick wall as many times as you can. 7 times. What happened to the jet sweep? This guy, Kyle Shanahan, only drafts and acquires gadget receivers. You're a real wide receiver? We need someone who can run jet sweeps and line up in the backfield. So you have Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, Ray McCloud, and Danny Gray, who was inactive today, and you don't run any jet sweeps. Not one. Why? Do something different. Just running into the line repeatedly isn't working this year. That's never what they did in the past. Mike McDaniel goes to Miami, and all of a sudden the Niners just run into the line. I mean, that's what they've been doing all year. Jeff Wilson Jr.'s had some big runs where he breaks through, but today he didn't because he's been overused. That's another sin of Kyle Shanahan's. What happened to the running back by committee? He did it in 2019. This year, I mean, the last 2 years, he ran Elijah Mitchell into the ground last year, and he's running Jeff Wilson Jr. into the ground this year. Jeff Wilson Jr. had 65 carries the last 4 games. Then he had a shoulder injury this week, and today he was terrible, fumbled, ineffective, and Kyle's like, I guess we can't run the ball today. Well, then you lost. This is why I've been saying all year, you got to get Jordan Mason involved because Jeff Wilson Jr. is going to get hurt too because you're overusing him. And the minute Jeff Wilson Jr. gets hurt or is ineffective, you're going to lose to a team that's terrible or a team that you should beat. The Niners are only as good as their running back. Jimmy Garoppolo gets all the discussion, but when the Niners have a good running back, they win. When they have a bad running back, they lose. It doesn't matter who their quarterback is. And today, they didn't have a running back. They had one. He was on the bench. They'd never give him the ball. They had tired Jeff Wilson and Tevin Coleman. Not good enough. So his usage of personnel isn't good enough. His creativity isn't there. He stopped using his wide receivers as gadget players. Why even bring in Ray McCloud? You signed Ray McCloud to throw deep passes to him? Why? He's not a deep threat. Danny Gray is a deep threat. You left him inactive today. You threw a deep pass to Ray, and then you're surprised that he dropped the ball. I'm not. He doesn't have good hands. He's a punt returner. And that's who you threw the deep ball to. Also, you threw a deep ball to Charlie Werner? Why? When has he ever made a big catch? Why do you trust him? Meanwhile, Ross Dwelly's never dropped a pass in his freaking career. And you don't throw him the ball? You called that one for Charlie Werner? Hey, man, that really caught us by surprise. Way to trick everyone. Kyle Shanahan's offense is unproductive and unimaginative. All the creative stuff he had going 3-4 years ago is gone. Today, his offense was screen left, screen right, tunnel screen, bubble screen, wide receiver screen. That's not getting it done. And then you look at it, the Falcons, who have nobody. Had you heard of any of their running backs? All of a sudden, their offense looked great. Not great, but they were very creative, and it was clear they were outperforming their talent level. The Niners have been underperforming given their talent on offense for years. They have way too much talent to be scoring 14 points a game, even with this quarterback. So, I don't know. I'm trying my best to quality control it up, but Kyle doesn't listen. 1 week he does, and he wins, and he thinks he's great, and all of a sudden, he does it. You know what? We're going screens today. Screens, slants, and curls. The screen, slants, and curls offense is not going to get it done. So, this is really bleak, huh? Again? Hold on. I think they're telling me that my show's over. Hold on. Sorry. Okay, let me answer a couple more questions. Darth says, why wait till week 6 down 14 to throw a corner route? Take a deep shot in the seam route. They dropped it because they never do it. Yeah, that's fair too. You waited down 14, week 6 to throw a corner out, which is, I mean, there may not be many wide receivers who run a better corner route in the NFL than Brandon Ayuk, but you can't do it until you're down big. I agree. Grant, did you see how many times Jimmy G had room to run but didn't? Shake my head, I'm sick. Are you surprised? Dog, we've been watching Jimmy G Garoppolo for like too long. I've been watching him for the better part of my all of my 30s. I can't get these years back. No more excuses for Jimmy or Kyle. They are who they are. At some point in their careers, we know who they are. Kyle's inconsistent and Jimmy mediocre. Bingo. Bingo. And I'm done picking sides. They're both who they are. Kyler V says, how can we blame Trey for the receivers' drops when he plays, but Jimmy is out there. You hear nothing about the drops being on him. I gave him credit for the drops. Ray should have caught that pass. Warner should have caught that pass. Jimmy's numbers would have looked better, but he also threw 2 picks. So, I mean, he also had a fumble that didn't count. He got lucky on that one. So you can play the what if game all day. What if these 2 guys caught passes? The Niners still would have lost. He still would have thrown 2 picks, and he still wouldn't have played well enough to win because that's who Jimmy Garoppolo is. So if you want to, go to bed tonight feeling good that Jimmy Garoppolo played a little bit better than I gave him credit for, be my guest. Ask Kyle what happened to the jet sweep and why when they're down 2 scores, it's always time to throw. Someone needs to tell him you don't have to stop running or else those play actions won't work. Yeah, that's what kills me, man. He's like, oh, we couldn't run the ball today because we fell down 14-0. What? That was the first quarter. You're allowed to run the ball down 14 in the first half. I remember in the NFC Championship game next door at the old Georgia Dome, the Niners fell down. What were they, like 24-3? Were they down 24-0? I think they were down 24-0 in the NFC Championship game. And what they did was they stuck to the game plan, kept running the ball. It worked. Had they abandoned it, they would have lost. Kyle gets nervous. And that's not confident behavior. Sticking with the run down 24 in the NFC Championship game is the most confident thing I've ever seen. It was great. Kyle wouldn't do it. I mean, he was down 14-0. They brought it back to 14-14. Still didn't want to run the ball. And he's saying they lost because of a 3rd down conversion when the game was tied in the second quarter? Give me a break. Shanahan is 0-24 when trailing by 7 heading into the 4th. Are you serious? Tell me you're kidding. 0-24 when trailing by 7 heading into the 4th? Damn, dude. That guy's a genius. Flav says, I'll be at the Rams game in a couple of weeks, going to hang out afterwards and force my way onto the instant reaction. Sounds good, Flav. Let's do it. Just be safe, man. I'm telling you, that place is kind of wild so far. Got you. If Mariota was on the team, the Niners would be better. Mariota's better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, all these people are saying, hey, give Jimmy some credit. He played pretty well today. He was the 2nd best quarterback on the field. How do you feel about, hey, guys that are praising Jimmy Garoppolo and think I'm being too tough on him? What do you think of Mariota today? He missed 1 pass. And he ran the ball. The legs actually matter. Having a quarterback who never moves, it hurts your run game. It hurts your pass protection. He just he plants himself in one spot. His feet are dead. Congrats to Ayuk for not dropping the deep pass. Man, Jimmy Garoppolo fans are salty after losses. Ask Kyle to play Madden or something to learn clock management. Hey, Kyle, here's my question. Play Madden. Manage the clock better. Your thoughts? Thoughts? Talk about how bad you are at managing the clock. Got you. Why do you keep emphasizing that he threw 2 picks? One of them was completely irrelevant. Because it was a terrible pass. It was embarrassing. You threw a Hail Mary 25 yards into triple coverage. It was embarrassing. You could have done something better than that. You could have thrown a screen. Well, this season just got real interesting, huh? Let's see what happens. Kyle's got to win some games. He's still under 500 as a head coach. And the season, I mean, it's going to get a lot harder. He's going to have to face the Chargers and the Chiefs and the Bucks and a bunch of good teams. They haven't faced any good teams yet. It's coming. So let's see. If the Niners are good, they'll get their stuff together and they'll win some games. Kittle looks slow. I could be the number 1 elsewhere. I tried to tell you about Kittle. They made it their business to get him the ball, but he just doesn't have the same violence and explosion and elusiveness after the catch. He doesn't. I don't know why. Well, theory. All right, guys. time for me to go home. It's been the longest week and a half of my life. It was a lot of fun. I kind of resent that I had to go to West Virginia. They should have won this game. You can't go to West Virginia and lose. That's exhausting. I wonder if they go to West Virginia next year. It didn't seem like that really helped out much. West Virginia. Do you think they can beat Kansas City? Honest. Yeah, they can. I don't think they will, though. Their defense isn't what it used to be. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow, taking an early flight out tomorrow, and I'll be doing Monday morning, the Monday morning show with Ryan Hensley, although I'm probably not going to make it home until about 11, so we'll probably go 12 instead of 11 tomorrow. Have a great night. Sorry the Niners lost.